Time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian.
If that sounded like slurring to your ears on the words of precision facility, you're not crazy and you're not alone. Hi, I'm TJ Walker, and welcome to the Communiverse. This is your daily dose of news on technology, business, and culture, where we decode the news through the lens of communication to boost your personal development and success.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity. And
Okay, if that sounded a little funny to you, again, it's not because you're not listening carefully or you're imagining things. Now, in defense of President Trump, he's not the first president to botch how to say the word nuclear. Jimmy Carter famously had a difficult time with that as well. But you're hearing words that sound a little slurred. You're hearing words come out that make you wonder, does he have loose dentures? Now, I don't know if he has loose dentures or not. One of the things I will give credit for to President Trump is he genuinely does seem to be honest about not being a drinker. There have been those who speculated that he sounded a little drunk. I don't think that's the case at all. He is a known teetotaler. I don't think he's showing other signs of being drunk, but there are certain slurs of words, as we just heard, in those slurring or mispronunciation of the word nuclear, facility. It's not quite coming out right. Now, this is coming in the aftermath of Joe Biden getting so much richly deserved criticism for being inarticulate, for not being able to do the things you need to do as a commander in chief. Now, this is about going to war. It's been famously said by Lincoln and others, you can't win a war without public support. And it's very easy to lose a war without public support. So it is critical from the standpoint of the bully pulpit that a president be able to explain going to war and to do it in a compelling way. There are a lot of people behind the scenes now, Trump supporters, who are thinking, we may have a Joe Biden problem on our hands. Let's take a little more of an in-depth look at the footage here.
We will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so.
I'm not here to give a partisan analysis for or against the war, but it's purely about a communications analysis. President Trump did something well there. He ad-libbed. He said, I hope so. You could tell right then it completely changed the tone of his voice. His movement came alive. He became much more like what we're used to seeing him when he speaks without a teleprompter. So the whole point of this video is to help you understand communication strengths, weaknesses, and how maybe you're not going to war, but there may be times when you do have to deliver big, important news. You may have to use a written speech, a teleprompter speech, and hang on to the end. I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that more effectively. But I'm going to play that one little clip again. I want you to see the change of speed, tempo, movement. That's what you want. That's typically what you get if you've rehearsed more in a presentation. Time of war going on, wanting to get news out right away, I seriously doubt he rehearsed.
Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so.
Okay, I want you to listen to this next part here. He's pausing in a way that doesn't sound natural. It sounds robotic. It sounds, frankly, like he's reading, which understandably he is, but it doesn't come across well. Listen carefully to where the pause is.
Cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
We're getting near the end of the speech. Listen to this next part. It's a little bit bizarre.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Okay, so several things worthy of note here. I'm in no way criticizing him for invoking a deity. It's extraordinarily rare for the leader of any nation not to invoke the deity that's popular within their country. So that's not my point. My point is when he says, and I'd like to thank God, it's almost like, God, come on down here and get a round of applause. There's just something bizarrely awkward and unusual about the way he talked about God. It's almost as if he were in a small town or medium-sized town opening up a new Trump hotel and wanting to thank the mayor, and someone put on a piece of paper at the last minute, don't forget to mention the name Tom Smithers, the mayor. And I'd like to thank, Tom Smithers. You've done a great job. That just seemed odd. That just seemed out of it. Now, President Trump is different from most politicians. There's no doubt about it. He famously quotes Bible verses in ways that no one else ever has, and it hasn't seemed to hurt him. But it's yet another thing that people looking for tips and signifiers suggesting something is off here can latch on to. Okay, let's transition now to what does this mean for you? How can you actually improve your own communication skills if you are ever in a situation where you have to read from a teleprompter or a prepared text? Because you and I are probably not going to be launching wars anytime soon. But you may be in a situation where you have to fire a bunch of employees or lay off a division or end a product line or announce some big problem that's very serious to your stakeholders. How do you do it? This is the time when you do need a written statement, because as in the case of what we just saw, that's going to be looked at in the history books forever, presumably. It's analyzed by the media, by partisans, by diplomats, by other world leaders. So it's crucial to get every word just right. When the stakes are high, it is important to write it down and to have a script. Here's the big problem. If you are reading a teleprompter, here's what happens. Hi, my name is TJ Walker, and I'd like to tell you about the crisis unfolding and why we have to fire all of our employees. That's the first thing that happens to most people who are reading a teleprompter or reading a speech. My voice flattened, my hands stopped moving, my body stopped moving, my head stopped moving, my face stopped moving. Everything froze. So if you want to be good at delivering an important presentation, it's crucial to rehearse. You don't have to spend a full day. You don't have to hire me for a week, although people do that sometimes. You just need to rehearse. You can use your own cell phone, whether you're the president of the United States or a one-person consultant working from home. Practice your presentation, record it on video, and look at it. 9 times out of 10, what you'll see is you're going to be someone who doesn't look believable because you look scared, stiff, frozen, nervous, and uncomfortable. That's the first draft. When you practice a presentation, you record it, even if it's 3 minutes long, and then you look at it. You can note what you like and don't like. Then when you're doing it again, it's essentially the third time going through your brain. You've said it once, you watched it once, now you're saying it, so it's essentially the third draft. Well, the third draft of most things are better than the first draft. So that's what will make it so much better. It doesn't take a long time. So if it is a 3-minute speech, you do it once, record it where no one else sees it. You watch it once. Now when you're ready to do it, you've only spent 6 minutes. You can't tell me in most situations you can't allocate 6 minutes to rehearse a presentation. So here are the fundamentals of how to come across your best when you are speaking on a teleprompter. Number one, you got to move your head. Most people, their head freezes because they are looking at the script and they're trying not to mess up the script. You want to move your head because your head moves in normal times. Next, you want to move your body. Now, I don't mean, wild and crazy, but most people, when they speak, their body moves a little. It's not perfectly rigid and stiff. You want to move your body. Next, ideally, move your hands a little. You don't have to, but when moving your hands a little, your body's more likely to move, your head, your face, there's the expressions. Next thing, your voice. The problem with reading a teleprompter is it tends to flatten out your voice and everything sounds exactly the same because it's coming out at the same speed and the same volume. That's what makes you sound like a robot or a zombie. So it's crucial to rehearse to the point where you know, okay, I'm going to go a little faster here and I'm going to go a little slower here. I'm going to go a little louder here and I'm going to go a little softer here. You want that variation. And unless you're a full-time news anchor and you do it 4 hours a day live on camera, it's not going to be natural your first time. You need to rehearse. Finally, pause occasionally. Pausing is punctuation. People tend to rush when they're reading through a teleprompter script or a written script. So don't be afraid to occasionally pause for a second or two. Let an idea sink in. Let it marinate. So those are the keys. You want movement, head, body, sometimes hands. You want variation with your voice, sometimes louder, sometimes softer, sometimes faster, sometimes slower, and occasionally a pause. I hope you found this helpful. This is not a partisan rant on being for or against war. It's really about how to use something in the news right now so you can learn how to be a better communicator and be more successful in your life. If you found this at all helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and come back tomorrow. Thanks. See you then.